Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. So today I am doing my friends slash cousins makeup. I have done her makeup before. I feel so grateful because I was able to do her makeup for her quinceañera and now for her high school graduation. So yeah, I already pretty much know her face, so it was pretty easy for me. My hands are clean. I'm wearing a mask just because I was so close to her. So I just started off with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, and I put that all over her face. And now I am just putting the foundation on. I used the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation. It is nice and lightweight. She was going to take some high school pictures with her friends, so we had to get her looking flawless, you know? And yeah, so I'm just using a clean, damp beauty blender, and we are just gonna pounce that around until it is nice and blended. And here I'm just making sure I drag it down her neck. And now I am putting my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. And I believe this one is in the shade Light. She is very light skinned, so we're using a lighter shade. And we are also blending that out with a damp beauty sponge. I wanted her to look highlighted, but I didn't want anything too exaggerated just because she doesn't really wear makeup. So I wanted to keep it as minimal as possible just so she can feel comfortable and still look like herself in her pictures. I don't like to transform people completely. I like to just enhance your natural beauty, and that's what we're doing here with her. And here I'm just taking a flat kabuki brush and I'm just blending it out a little bit more. I want to make sure she doesn't have any creasing or anything like that, making sure everything is nice and blended smoothly. Now here I am just filling in her eyebrows very, very lightly. She has perfect eyebrows. She had just gotten them done and she's not missing any hair. She didn't have any sparse, areas. But I just went over it a little bit just because when you do apply foundation and other makeup, it kind of just takes away. So I just colored them slightly. And now here I am setting underneath her eyes. I'm setting that concealer with some setting powder. And on her I used the Ciate London setting powder in translucent. And I'm setting around her nose area as well. It is really hot in New York, so it was a really hot day this day again. So I'm making sure I set all those little smile lines and any little areas in your face, like when you smile it creases. I just made sure I set it. So here I am using my iconic London palette. It's a very neutral palette. I think this palette is perfect for weddings, for special events like special occasions like this one, where your client only really wants something nice and subtle. So I just put in like a nice taupe color in her crease, and then I put a little bit, like a very light brown shade, and yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm just blending it into her crease, and I try to keep it very minimal since, again, she doesn't wear a lot of makeup. I didn't want her to look in the mirror and be like, oh my gosh, what did she do to me, you know? I wanted her to still see herself, just, you know, bringing out what's already there, you know? So, also she has really, really, really small eyes. So, her mom actually, I know her mom as well, her mom actually said that she wanted to make sure that her eyes looked a little bit more open. So I feel like when you put a lot of dark colors on your eyes, it makes your eyes close up. So with her, I wanted to open up her eyes. So what I did was I did very light taupe colors in her crease, and then I'm putting a light pink and a light rose gold shimmer on her lid. And I didn't do a black eyeliner. Instead, I used the darkest brown shade, which is not even that dark in that palette. So I used that dark brown shade and I made an eyeliner with that. And yeah, so that's what we did with her. Here I'm applying the glitter shimmering colors on her lid. So yeah, to open up your eyes, I would recommend using lighter colors on the eyes. Try to keep it as light as possible. If you want to smoke it out, use like a brown, do like a brown smoky. Yeah, and then I put a new liner on the waterline, and on the inner corner of her eye, I wet my brush and I put the lightest shimmer pink in her inner corner, which really made her eyes pop, and I loved it. She loved it. I was so happy that she loved the way her makeup came out.
Ganja smoking, got rum in me cup. Bad girls wind up on the dance floor. Other girls wind up on the dance floor.
And yeah, so I will try to link any products that I used on her face. I will try to link them down below. I was thinking about filming a what's in my freelance kit. If you guys want to see that, let me know. I might just film it anyways within 2 days. And maybe I'll post it for next Monday. I'm not too sure yet. But if you guys want to see that, then what I have in my freelance kit. So here I'm just I'm making sure that she's going to do eyeshadow on her eyes. And yeah, this is where I'm doing the liner with the brown eyeshadow. And I think it looks so pretty, and so it is really effortless. We took longer because we were chatting and stuff, but this is very, very effortless, and it looks so soft. This is like a very soft brown, and yeah, I'm just obsessed with it. So this is another thing I did to open up her eyes. She has really long eyelashes, but they're kind of straight. So I curled them with my my Pure Cosmetics curling thing. I don't know what it's called, but that curling thing. And yeah, so I curled them up, and now I'm applying the Lash Princess mascara. And don't worry guys, I have my, what are they called? Disposable mascara wands, and that's what I'm using now. I have disposable everything, so I'm not double dipping and, you know, cross contaminating and that stuff. Everything was disinfected and cleaned. Yeah, I'm very clean, especially like, you know, sometimes I like to use, you know, if I'm doing like family's makeup, like a family member, I will use even my own products, but even if it's my family member, I still disinfect, because just because we're, you know, family members, we could still like give each other like breakouts and stuff like that, because everybody's different, you know, you sweat different, your face. So yeah, everything is clean. I use everything, you know, disposable, so don't worry about that. But yeah, so her eyelashes are gorgeous. She didn't need any falsies. They're just so pretty, her eyelashes. And here, this is where I was doing her waterline with the nude NYX Wonder Pencil. She's not used to wearing makeup, so she was kind of tearing up, but we got through it. We got through it. She took it like a champ. And here, this is where I'm putting that light pink shimmer shade in her inner corner. I did spray my brush with setting spray just to make sure that it pops really nicely. Alright, so now I am using my e.l.f. What is this? My e.l.f. bronzer and highlight palette. And I'm bronzing her face with the lightest bronzer in this palette. Like I said, she is very fair, so the lighter bronzer for her was perfect. It blended like a dream. I am using my brushes from this new brush set that I got in from Amazon. So I'll link those down below as well. And I'm just, you know, doing the cheekbone and the jaw and all that stuff, and making sure that everything is nice and cleaned up. Here I'm taking that translucent shade and I'm making sure everything is nice and clean right there, like just cleaning it up, because you know you could get messy in the blending process. And yeah, now here I'm just hitting the forehead a little bit just so she could look a little bronzy. And here I am using this, it's an e.l.f. blush. It's like a rosy color. It's the primer infused blush, and it is super pretty. I love this blush. And to highlight, I'm using the e.l.f. Highlighting Glow Gleam Beam palette. That is a tongue twister. And I am just taking the two lightest shades, and I'm highlighting the high points of her face. And with clients, I usually like to highlight twice. So here I am setting her face with the Make It Last setting spray by Milani, and I'm dry it up. And now I'm gonna take this Becca Cosmetics, and I'm using the Champagne Pop highlight. So after her first setting spray is dried, I will go back with another little layer of highlight, just because I feel like who doesn't want to be highlighted to the gods, you know what I'm saying? So, and as we went, I showed her, you know, herself in the mirror or whatever, and made sure that she liked how it was going. And here I'm just going over her whole face with my damp beauty sponge to make sure it's nice and melted into the skin, and making sure that she's happy, you know. And here I'm using this, it's the Stay Matte powder, and I'm just kind of, you know, putting it on the areas, like mostly in the T-zone where people usually get oily. Just because she was going to take pictures like outside, I wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to be oily or anything like that, because I don't know if she's oily really or not. So I wanted to make sure that she was going to look flawless for as long as possible. And here I'm lining her lips with a, I believe this is the MAC pencil in, what's the name of this? I think it's Whirl. And on top of that, I'm going to use the Tarte, it's a Tarte liquid lipstick. I actually usually, I try to use brand new lipsticks, or, you know, liquid lipsticks, because I do let my clients keep them. So this was a new one. It was like a little sample size that I had gotten. I just never used it because I have like multiple of them. So I'm putting that on over the, all over her lips with the lip liner. And yeah, so I let her keep the liquid lipstick just so she could be able to, you know, she'll be able to touch up, you know, and still have lipstick on the entire day or night. So that's usually what I do with my clients, which I think it's helpful. I would, if I was getting my makeup done, I would like to have the lipstick. That way you could touch up your lipstick at least. And here I'm letting her see how she's looking. She says she loved it. I was asking her, making sure, you know, if she wants something more, something less, and she said it was perfect. So I'm just setting her face with my makeup setting spray from Milani, which is beautiful. And this is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.